Hello. What's up?
What's
Welcome.
up?
Welcome out to something new, the Drew and Fuse show. Me and Drew have been talking about starting a podcast for a while now, so we're just going to go ahead and get started with it. So this is going to be like our pilot episode, our test run. We're going to try to do one every week from here on out. And sometimes we're going to have guests, sometimes not, because we just don't want to lose focus with the show and always make the show about the guests. With that being said, we can introduce ourselves a little bit. You might know both of us from DMS, but Drew, why don't you tell us where you're from and kind of what you're doing and your background?
Yeah, my name is Drew Pierce. I've been working for DMS for about 10 years. That's how me and Fuse met. And we just do custom edits together for DJs. And I'm over here in Long Beach, California. And mostly at this stage in the game, do mobile events, corporate and weddings. But I still dabble in the bar and nightclubs just to keep fresh.
Yeah, don't let
So
him fool you. He's playing with Lazy Boy tonight, so I mean, nothing big there going on. But Drew's a humble guy. He's crushes it all. So myself, I'm in Cincinnati. Same. I mostly do bar and club still. I still do some events and all of that too. But I'm mostly in a bar every Friday right now, and then I'm in a club Saturday night, and that's kind of what my weekend looks like right now. So. Also, we just want to say that, we're looking for things that DJs want to hear. Not only DJs, anybody that's going to be a listener of the show, any ideas or things you guys might want to know more about or topics you want to know about, feel free to write us, DMS, whatever you want to do. We'll be glad to read some questions and talk about those things.
we're also going to add on a phone number so you guys can call and leave your rants or leave your questions or whatever you want. You just go ahead, call up the number, and we're going to be playing a lot of them from week to week. So we hope they're good. We need to be entertained. Entertain us.
Yeah, let's just say you got done with the Alex Nepa Sips and Ish podcast, and you want to leave our podcast a drunk voicemail. Feel free. We would love it. We'll play it live on the show.
There you go. That's right.
So let's just talk about our weekend. What did you have going on this past weekend, Drew?
So this weekend, oh man, it went fast. Let's see. I was local this weekend, and I did a wedding on Friday and Saturday. Hold on, I'm actually gonna have to look. No, I did a club on Friday. Um, it's kind of far drive, but it was cool. It was great because I feel like all the bars and clubs that I do all the time always have competitions. It's like a row, so one off song and they're jumping to the next bar. But this bar has no competition, so play whatever the fuck I wanted to. It was awesome. So yeah, did that, and then Saturday had a wedding, and they surprised us with. You've seen those robot stilt walkers that they do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
seen some of those.
So we had CO2 for the bride and groom, and it was cool that the stilt walkers came out, and I've never worked with some of the like that, but it was neat to see. They were doing limbo, which I guess isn't that hard when you're on stilts, but they were doing limbo with the guests, and then we brought out the CO2, and
That's
yeah, it was
pretty
wild.
impressive. I don't know if I
It,
could be on stilts doing any. I don't know if I could limbo now, not on stilts, even in a chair.
well, not only that, but it was outside. So in California, we have perfect weather here at this time, even though it rained last night. But the dance floor was wet, so everyone's slipping. I don't know how these stilt walkers were able to not slip, you know, on the thing. I could barely walk on it, and I was watching the guests kind of slide around. So
What part of
hey,
California was the wedding in?
actually, it was rad. It was right by my house. It was about 5 minutes from my house. So
Oh, that's
it's
always nice.
Seal Beach, right next door. So yeah, it was dope. And then I did a wedding last night, Monday. It was Spanish and English, and they didn't want to do anything except dance. So it was a 4-hour dance set, which is I don't care how much your couples like to party. That is a challenge, and I never lost the floor, and they danced the whole night. So it was a amazing night. It was super fun. How about you?
This past weekend, let's see. This kind of was a busy weekend for me. I'm in Cincinnati, so we had the Thursday night football game was here in town. So it was Bengals Jaguars, and so I played at the bar I play on Friday nights. Always, I played there Thursday night too because that bar is between the Reds Stadium and the Bengals Stadium on an area we call the Banks, and it's like you were explaining earlier. It's just a big stretch of like a bunch of different bars. Like there's a Tin Roof there. There's a couple sports bars, and then the bar I play at's called Fishbowl, and it's like a tropical themed like party bar. And so I played there Thursday night after the Thursday night football game. And
I have a question. Do you find it hard? Like people are constantly looking to bounce and go to the next spot.
oh yeah, I mean that whole area. Yeah, they are always bouncing around there. I think it's a good thing and a bad thing because like it's a good thing because I find myself able to play a little more out of the box there. Even though it's kind of like a down the middle spot, I find myself being able to play a little more out of the box in the sense of like, okay, I know new people are always ready to come in, so like I can take a little more chances with the music versus like having to stay right on it, right down the middle.
What I've always noticed is places like that, it's good to play a little bit differently because if you ever go and walk up and down, actually bounce around on your off night. I just did this recently at a place like that, a strip like that. And every DJ I walk in is playing, the same hit song. So every time I walk into the new bar, it's like the same hit song. So I find if you're actually changing up and not just, doing the exact same thing, then people are going to stay.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing. And like I was saying, sometimes, that specific bar is, I would say it's a smaller bar down there too. So it's kind of more challenging to play in the sense of like, if you get a big group that comes in together, that's like 10 or 15 people and the bar only maybe holds on the inside part, maybe like 100 to 150 people. So, if you have a group of like 10 or 15 and they all bounce at one time, it looks empty in there. Like all of a sudden, like, especially because the bar is like a U-shaped and like everybody can kind of like dance around, but like the dance floor side is like where people, tend to hang. And, that can be a bit of a challenge, but I also kind of like that in a sense because it just really like allows you to focus on what actually works and what doesn't. But so I started there, I did there Thursday night, and then I did there again Friday night. And then Saturday and Sunday, I do the bingo for them there. So I just host bingo, which is like a thing we started in the pandemic during like when all the bars had the rules and restrictions and we needed something for people to do where they could remain seated. And that's kind of how we started doing that. And it's been so successful that we're still doing it. And then Saturday night,
did you create this or how did this come about? Because I'm kind of fascinated. Did you come up with a format for it or?
No. So the owner of both the bar and the club I play at, his name is Danny. He goes by DJ Saab. He was a longtime radio DJ here in Cincinnati on the KISS channel. And, they're KISS channels everywhere. And, he's a great DJ and great like marketing mind and just all around super smart guy. And he was like, "Oh, what would you think about doing bingo? Or how would you feel like if I started doing this bingo? Do you think that's dumb? Like cool?" He always is bouncing ideas off me.
Tell me you're wearing a sparkly jacket. Kind of hosting jacket.
Rod Roddy. No, I unfortunately am not wearing the Rod Roddy clothes. But we do have some promo pics that I took and some stuff like that. But it's been cool. People have liked it. It's just something different. And, like we do it during the day from 2 to 4, which there's nothing else really going on down there. So it's a good way to get people, to kind of come in early. And then too, with all the other bars being down there, they hear, they hear me like, speaking and talking through the speakers outside too, because a lot of times people sit on the patio and play. And so like people are just walking by and they hear something's going on and they come in too, which is great. And then
so is this evolved? Because I like it. So did they just come up with the format and you go, oh, let's do this and this, and then over time has it gotten crazier, or some new stuff been introduced? How's that worked? How's that evolved over this time?
Danny, the owner, started and did the first few, and then myself and then another guy named his name's John. We do it on Tuesday nights. We do it Saturdays and Sundays because people were like about it so much. And then it's pretty simple. Like we don't like it kind of evolved, but it's kind of the simplicity of what makes it great. It's like try not to talk too much on the mic, but like be funny and say some funny things. And, we give out gift cards to the bar. So if somebody wins, not only do they win, and is that like half the thing, everybody just wants to win, but they get a gift card, which isn't good till the next day. So it keeps them like coming back. So
right.
I think it's great. And, it's definitely evolved over time a little bit, but it's cool because he's like big on live musicians and he loves Key West. And that's kind of the theme where a lot of the ideas for this bar came into play. It was, he goes to Key West a lot. And, so when I get done with bingo on the weekends, there's a live musician that starts. And then so it's like bingo, boom, live musician, boom. And then the live musician plays until the DJ starts at night. So it's like on the weekends, there's always something going on there. In fact, he's got live music there 7 days a week now. So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Just like Key West, if you go, there's always something going on no matter which day of the week you're down there. And I think that's a cool thing, especially like, if you're going out on a Tuesday or Wednesday here, those kind of haven't recovered yet, since the pandemic. So it's like you consistently know there's something at least going on there,
Yeah. No, that's rad. I like it.
So then my Saturday night I play at the club, which Danny owns as well. And it's an 18 and up club. It's big. It's can hold like 1,200 people. So we average probably it's like a destination spot too. So if people come there, that's where they go all night. There's a big parking lot, so it can handle the crowd that size. And
where is that in accordance to downtown, to where you're talking?
So from the banks between the stadiums, it's like 5 minutes away, but it's not the easiest kind of to get to driving wise. Like if you walked straight there, you could walk there in probably like 10 or 15 minutes. But the parking lot also doubles for a parking lot for the Bengals stadium. So if that tells you kind of how big the parking lot to that place is. And not only like that, the building that it's in is it's got like office buildings there. There's like a wedding, like a venue in there that people have like receptions at. There's like a deli in there, quite a few different businesses, but the club is super big, and we probably average on like a Saturday, probably around 850 people. Yeah. So it's pretty big. Yeah. It's different from what I've been used to because it's an 18 and up club, and like people literally come there to dance. Like that's it. They come to dance, and right. Like they do bottle service, but bottle service isn't like the main focus there really at all. So it's a little different.
Do you get 21 and overs there?
Yeah.
What kind of bottles are you working with? Gatorade bottles or the Red Bull cups?
No. So he has like one of the legit ID scanners, and we actually have one at the bar too now. But so if you've ever been to a casino, you go in and they scan your ID, and it has like all the information that comes up about you and all this stuff. The cool thing is like he can tell like all the information about the club too, like how many men are in the club, how many women are in the club, how many people between this age and this age. So on average, about 65 to 70% of people that are in there are about 21 to 23. So the majority of the crowd is always over 21. The 18-year-olds, it always, when people come in and they see it, they get a little like, oh my God, it looks so young. But it's really the 18-year-olds come in and just go directly to the dance floor. So like when people come in and they see, oh, it's young, it's because, well, that's what they came there to do. That's all they can do. So, but it's also good. It's like one of those things where some of these bars, some of the bars, fizzle out through the years, but the thing is about 18 to 21-year-olds is like they're always looking for somewhere to go, and it's the only spot here in the city that has that. And he keeps it, real safe. He's got it like cracked, like he keeps it, like I said, the ID scanner alone is a big thing, but he keeps it really safe and runs a really good business.
So are they designated to a certain area? Can they only be on the dance floor? Is there like no areas they can't go in? I'm guessing they can't go to bottle service if someone bought a bottle, right?
Yeah, so he gives everybody like wristbands and he changes them every week. So if you have a wristband on, you're able to drink, and they're pretty good. I see them catch, like they'll catch people, and do whatever they have to do.
I'm sure it's fun to DJ, right? Or is it?
It is fun. It's, I would say,
range, how does that work?
It's a tougher spot to play because they're just not as like, I don't want to say like cultured, because that's not the word, but like they're just not as adjusted to like going out and like hearing songs. Like, when you go out when you're 21, 22, and you're kind of like, oh, you start hearing songs, or like you kind of understand like how things work a little bit in the bars and clubs. But like, it's like a lot of times they're fresh out of high school and like they want to hear what they know, and they just don't know much. And like songs that work in some of like the older places that I've played over the years just don't work there anymore. Nelly Country Grammar doesn't hit there. It still might hit in some of the other bars, but like not there.
Was that 03?
Yeah, and that's something you really have to think about. Yeah, you really got to think about that when you're playing there, because it's like, okay, if there's an 18-year-old here, like they weren't even born when that song came out,
Right. I've done a bunch of proms and other school dances over the years, and there are mainstays that you wouldn't think still hit, but they still hit. But it is, I'm curious where we're going to be in 10 more years when most of the tracks change over in every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Stuff just doesn't have any staying power anymore.
I mean, the staying power, even of like, so like everybody could say what they want about that Certified Lover Boy and Donda, but like nobody's even talking about Donda anymore, like at all. And then Certified Lover Boy, that album, Way Too Sexy, is like the only song. And I'm telling you, like when I play it there, it hits and they pop, but as soon as the Drake verse comes in, and then like by the second chorus, they are completely over it. They're over it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like if that's a thing now. Obviously we've always known that the attention span of people is really dropping off, and I don't know, maybe it's just there. Maybe it's me and where I'm playing right now. I am in Cincinnati, so people are a little more closed-minded, but you've been here. I wouldn't say it's too different from anywhere else.
I don't think it's different. I think people listen to what they want, right? So say just because it's fresh on my mind, last night I did a wedding, and the requests from the youngest kids there were Justin Bieber, Baby, and One Direction. Those records are over 10 years old, and that's what these young kids want to hear.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if they just grew up on it or what. I haven't figured that part out yet, but I think it is, it's what they hear, it's what they see in movies, it's what whoever's playing their dances. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because Justin Bieber Baby is like a song that I play there, and they go nuts for it. And it's kind of just made me think of this Sunday at this coming Sunday. I'm going to be doing a Sweet 16 party there. That it's a private party. for a friend of the owner, they approached him about doing a Sweet 16 party there, and it's going to be like 100 people ish.
You need some
And,
still walkers, man. Doing
I
need
know.
to light up still walker robots doing limbo.
But it's funny because he sent me a playlist, like a Spotify playlist, and I'm just going to read some of these songs off because I think it's interesting. I'm just going to kind of like pick and choose. These are some of the songs that the 16-year-old made that they want to hear. Okay, and you're gonna laugh at the first one I'm going to read you because it's "Hands Down" by Dashboard Confessional.
Stop! That's not
Dude,
real.
It's right here, hands down, Dashboard Confessional.
Wow.
Right here. I'm sorry.
Are you passing out journals and so they can all sing in the corner and cry? Write in their journals? That's shocking to me. Okay. Does he have a new album out or something that's coming back?
No, I don't know.
Maybe it was on a TV show.
They got some other like random ones on here, but like Macklemore, Can't Hold Us. Let's see, Super Bass, Nicki Minaj, which that's not.
Are you playing that Can't Hold Us?
I kind of use it as just like a filler song. I have like a quick edit. Like I don't know. It hasn't really got too much of a reaction for me anymore. So if I do, it's just like a real quick to get to. Sometimes I'll use it as a transition from like 130 to back to like hip hop because
we have that DMS, right?
I think Zimmy did one. I think it was. But there's just some random songs on here that are older, like Love Story, Taylor Swift, Feel So Close, Calvin Harris
has been blowing up.
I've been playing that again.
Yeah,
but it's just funny because this is a Sweet 16 party. Knockout, Young Gravy.
Taylor Swift she's still big, so I could see her back catalog actually, and I think a lot of the news is she's redoing all her albums. So I think any fan is paying attention to that.
Yeah, I mean, they have Daft Punk One More Time on here, which is funny because I'll be honest, I haven't played that since like the bars have opened back up. But I never thought that would be hitting with the young kids, So that's kind of funny. I can't wait to like play that and see, how that actually goes. But also it'll be interesting just being like a smaller group in that big club,
right?
Like how it goes.
Are they going to section it off a little bit?
Yeah, he's kind of got these things in there where they can like collapse the room a little bit and make it smaller. So, yeah.
But that One More Time has been crushing for me at weddings. I play it almost every weekend.
That's good to know. I'm doing a wedding this Saturday, so Out of My League, Fits in the Tantrums. Like that's another funny one that I feel like's on this list.
Nobody's gonna dance that, bro.
Yeah, I'm like
that's a cocktail hour at best.
So, but I mean, there's tons of like the stereotypical stuff, like No Hands, the Trap Beckham, Birthday Bitch, Hot Girl Bummer, Die Young, Kesha, like all that stuff too.
Is there any? I can't believe they want Kesha at 16. That's crazy. Is there any new stuff that is on there?
The only like new stuff is like that I notice is like they got the Drake Way Too Sexy, Pop Smoke Shake the Room, which I've never played that. I don't know about that. Let's see. Let's go to the beginning. Pop Smoke, Hello. Drake, What's Next? Gone Girl by Ian Dior and Trippie Redd. I don't really see like they have Whiskey Glasses by Morgan Wallen on the list.
What about Fancy Like? You get any country over there?
There's no country in this list. I haven't been playing Fancy Like, but I probably could play that at the bar on Fridays, and people would probably pop to that. Speaking of which, like this is probably like a good segue. Like what would you say are new songs let's say, and when I mean new in terms of like a bar, I feel like, or club that's not like bottle service heavy. I feel like the cool kids that go and want bottle service and all that do want to hear like those new songs while they're hot. But like in terms of like a bar that's just like a sticky floor with some party lights and stuff, like I would say new is like the last 3 or 4 months. What is new for you that you actually think is popping? Is there anything? Because I've only got a couple I can think of.
It really depends on the room. If I'm doing mostly hip hop, or house is kind of getting a little bit of a comeback as well. So I have been noticing at least more up tempo, not necessarily house, but we get a lot of Spanish over here. So that J Balvin, Into Ghetto, and Pepas is
yeah,
the red hot chili Pepas. Now that was one of my biggest songs the other night for sure.
This dude wouldn't leave me alone for a song called 4K. Have you played that song at all? Saturday night. It was like a Latin Spanish song, I think, but I have not played that. But I don't even know what it would sound like. It's just one that stuck out from the weekend.
No, I mean I get requests for Too Sexy a lot.
Yeah. That Kid Leroy, Stay. I feel like that one works. People like that.
They like to do the dance.
Right? Yeah. The Lil Nas X, Industry Baby with Jack Harlow. I feel like that one's got a little bit of a pop when I play it.
It's actually a good song.
I like that. I think it's like the production on it's cool. It's got like some energy. It reminds me of like Rusko Dash, Good Night, like that song. It's kind of like got that energy, got that vibe.
Do you play Heat Waves? Are you playing that? I get requests for it, and I know my daughter loves it, but I just can't get around it.
Same, like that song. It's been out for a while now, but anytime somebody's requested it, excuse me, it's just like a downer type song, like I just feel like it's like a vibe killer. Even like I think Simo or somebody made like a hook first intro.
Is there any good bootlegs or anything out of it?
Not that I know of. But so yeah, DJs or anybody, if you're listening and you're saying like, oh man, these guys are dumb, they should be playing this version. We need to know. Let us know. Yeah, we're looking for that. Yeah,
we'll list that top. It's currently number 3, which is why I ask. It's number 3 on Spotify, and there's another podcast that I started listening to. It's called Song Exploder. You heard that? It's a really great podcast. They go in depth they have the artists come on and they go in depth about the song, and they show early demos of it. They show just like inspiration and break down their acapellas and all kinds of stuff. It's 20 minutes, so it's cool. You can kind of slam through it. But I was listening to their podcast on how that song came about, and I thought that episode must have came out right around the time this song was released. And dude, it's still number 3. It's crazy. It is crazy. I can't believe it's still doing that well. What about that Ed Sheeran Bad Habits? That's number 4.
I don't even find myself playing it. Like at the club, when I play at the club, like the last, 10, 15 minutes, we really kind of just take the music like up tempo, but like like not as high as an energy. So like it'll be like one of the last few songs I play there, but like as far as like getting a reaction, I'm not getting a reaction, and it's crazy because the song has tons of plays on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm looking at the top 10 right now. What's interesting is besides Lil Nas X, it's almost no hip hop on the top 10.
The best friend, the sweetie, or whatever it is, Doja Cat. That song, I feel like it's been out for a while, but like it's actually hitting now when I play it.
Yeah, I did that. I played that last night. Body and Up. Kind of got to jump around BPMs a little bit, but that's
those are all
twerky set. It works at weddings too, and that's kind of the newer stuff that I'm finding. Hitting for me.
That's funny. A song that I kind of have been playing again that has been working both at the bar and club. I've just been trying to like, when you're just doing like rock sets or like up tempo and you're like playing house and you're like, all right, let me play like some pop, or like I'll play like Whoop There It Is and like Salt and Pepper Push It, and like, I try to like group the songs a little bit together to like where they, they make sense. So one song that I kind of use is like the song to get back out of like the Whoop There It Is and Push It and like that like booty bass kind of stuff is I started playing Nicki Minaj Anaconda again. And
Oh,
like,
that's a good one.
It's been crushing. Like,
Yeah.
people have been reacting to it.
Yeah, I gotta put that back in the list. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely need to put that back in there. That's a good one.
So with that being said, is there anything that you feel like you're playing now that like you haven't been playing that is working?
Oh man.
Like I texted you this weekend. I was like, oh my gosh, shouty fire burning on the dance floor. Like got a little crowd pop, which is hilarious.
Oh my god, that's just my 2008 set. That was peak hour 2008. I remember it like so specifically. You know what was one of my biggest songs? I would never have played this at a wedding, but the groom came up and just said, "Hey, put on Colt 45." I thought, wow, it's so aggressive for a wedding. But luckily we had a clean edit, so I played it, and even the old people were just going with it. And I played it from start to finish.
Wow.
And it gets raunchy at some parts, but people were just going crazy for it. It was, if they know, then that song just destroys. Because I've played it at bars and stuff, and it works too. So
that's one I got to put back in the rotation, because I have actually even gotten requests for that, and I've been like, wait, what? Like like I can't.
It's big. It's good.
Yeah. I can't help but think now, like, because I got a request for that, it's like something that I hate that happened, and it happens. I don't understand it. Like, people, and in terms of like, I don't mind the requests, but
right.
Like, I don't mind requests at all. And especially like if there's like a security guy at the bar standing next to me and he can just filter them. I'm like, no, dude, tell me what they say. I want to hear, but I just don't want to deal with them is more it. Like, I don't want to deal with the person. But like, it seems like right now I'll be like, and this has happened multiple times in the last few weekends where like I'm DJing and then I'm playing like a top record, like Industry Baby or like Stay or Twerkulator or something like that, and somebody comes up and requests like another song, and the whole place is like, Wah! And like there's that one I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Go enjoy yourself. Quit focusing. Go dance.
And I think that's the thing that like is driving me nuts right now, is because it's like, it's not even the request, it's just like the bad, first off, bad timing, and then like it's that whole like and I know everybody always talks about this and DJs like always get all upset and stuff, but it's just like that idea that like, no, what I want right now is way more important. And it's just like
I've been getting a bunch of trolls lately. Have you been getting any troll songs? So I got a request for Nickelback. He came up, seriously, photograph, and I just thought, come on, bro, get out of here. That's not even.
Well, that's like the whole like play Bad Bunny, right? Everybody thinks that that's like the thing to say. And like, I think some people are like serious with it in terms of like, I think some people really like are like, oh, I hear that that's cool. So like, let me go ask him to play some Bad Bunny. And then you're like, okay, what song? And they're like, like they don't even know. And then some people just say it just to be funny.
I did a Spanish club this past weekend, and none of them were doing it to be funny. It was all these chicks, and they thought they really wanted to hear Bad Bunny. And at the time they asked for it, I had just finished a 4-song Bad Bunny set, just to be like, here's all your Bad Bunny, go away.
Which are what songs? What songs? Mia, Kaita, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, because I am.
Te Bote.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we just sound so so bad. Kaita.
I don't know how you say it, but I think that's how you say it.
I
I like a lot of it too. Is the thing
No, it's
like
great. Mia, I did play Mia. It's older, but I did play that. And Dakiti.
yeah, okay, I
And
play
then
all those.
there was two that I didn't play that
Or like
I was totally slipping on. Let's see. What was that?
dude, it's crazy how big he is. Like if you go on Spotify, like he has 44
He's the number one artist, right? I think he's
Uh,
the number one artist in the world.
it says 22nd in the world when you scroll down, but
Okay.
he has 44 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
So these are two that my buddy said I didn't play. I was dropping. Yo Pero Sola.
Okay, I don't know that one, but maybe I do, and just don't know the name of it.
And
you know?
then Safera, Safaera.
Okay,
Those were two that I was getting requests for, and I just didn't have it.
neither of those are in his top 5 on Spotify right now, too.
I mean, they might just be new.
Yeah, that's what's crazy is like, so yeah, the Bad Bunny, play some Bad Bunny, dude. Hey man, you haven't played enough Bad Bunny. I don't think we've said Bad Bunny enough on this podcast yet to even justify how much people want to hear it.
I was lining up my couple for a different wedding right the next day, and one of the guys like, "Hey, you got that Bad Bunny?" That's how you're supposed to say it. I was saying Bad Bunny, and he was getting mad at me. No, he was like Ba Boni. You got a Ba Boni. If you're going to say it correctly.
Who knew?
I got schooled and how I got to say it. So add those
what about
two. Yo Pero Sola and Safera.
And again, DJs listening, like if there's stuff that you think like, hey, this is the song of his, like it goes off, we want to know. Let us know. We want to tell other DJs. Like our whole thing with this, podcast and everything is like we want to be like fully transparent and not have like smoke and mirrors and act like things are different than they are. We want it to be very much real and just real DJ conversation, and we want to talk with DJs and have other working DJs on here. DJs that are playing, grinding it out, 4 or 5 times a week, or on the weekends, every weekend. That's who we want to be talking to. We want
to. We're going to get guests in that are also going to say what's hitting across the country in all different areas, because there are pockets that have other stuff. I think I definitely play more Spanish than you probably do.
Yeah,
just from my location.
Yeah. I play more than I think people would think, especially because like the Friday night bar that I'm in is like kind of like like tropical themed, so we get a lot of like people that come in because they like that too.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, location, like you're gonna go to San Francisco, you're gonna play tons of E40. Like I just saw a video of Jay Espinoza, like that he put up on his social media this weekend. It's like he drops out the song completely for like 60 seconds and they just keep singing it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't do that here.
What was he saying? I think he hit up our tag E40. Like we need an acapella challenge.
Yeah. Yes. That's what it was. Yeah. Which is crazy. Like, I don't even know if there's like an artist here that like you could do that with. Like recently, I mean, sure, you got like 98 Degrees or from Cincinnati, cool, whatever. But like nobody cares
Nick
about
Lachey?
that anymore. Yeah, he's from Cincy.
You need to have him in at your 18 over club and put him up in a bottle service and just be like, have him wave every now and then.
Yeah, right. It would be like moms that came in now. Like,
well, we at one of the bars that we have down here, they bring in The Bachelor from time to time. It doesn't even matter what season; they'll just say Bachelor season what, and I swear it packs the whole place out. Fucking Bachelor.
Well, that one Bachelor dude is like a DJ now. He's on one of those like bigger DJ booking agencies, and I don't even care who we say the name is. I don't care. We don't have to bleep anything on this. It's not going to hurt us any. But the Blackout Artist, which is like I don't know, like everything's changed now since like the pandemic with all that. I've seen like there's been a couple new ones pop up, and like it seems like guys have moved around and changed. There's that like new one. It's called 3-Day Weekend with guys like Spider and Fashion. That one's like a new one. Yeah, that's a great booking agency name.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy, he's on. He's a Bachelor contestant that DJs everywhere.
I mean, look, he's going to bring people in. I think
completely.
Aaron from Crate Hackers, he posted about Pauly D. Said he opened for Pauly D, and he said that was the first time they ever sold out that bar. When Pauly D came in, and
I believe it.
Like how old that show is, and he's still selling it out. So, he's on a different level. If he's
completely
going to bring people in and it's going to pack it out, then by all means, I think it works. We're all on different levels, they're not taking away work from us. So
100%. It's I'm not hating on the bar doing it, and I'm not really even hating on the guy. I'm just being a hater because I'm a hater by nature. So
hey, I know it. If you can bring people in the door, that's half the time the battle. Just get them through the door. Completely.
I got two a couple young guys that work at the bar and the club are like aspiring DJs, and the one is he's a really good kid, and I've been telling him, I'm like, you and your boy need to because there's a bunch of colleges around here and they go to UC. I'm like, dude, you and your boy need to start a Tuesday night at a bar on campus and just play and grind it out there and get people to come see you, and that's where you're gonna learn how to really be a DJ and what songs are working.
That's what we're actually doing tonight. You mentioned we got Lazy Boy in here, and my homie Steve Dubb, who's an amazing DJ, and we're just trying to do cool shit. There's no rules, no playlist. Just let's just play some good music and hopefully build. I think the industry night's probably going to start heavily a little bit more on leaning on DJs and bartenders that are just sick of hearing the same 5 songs over and over and over is kind of the idea. But it's a Tuesday, so here I know specifically, and I don't know about your area, but it just doesn't seem that there's any industry nights have seemed to kind of gone away, where you're not catering to the actual workers anymore, have gone away.
Yeah, I can only think of one place that's doing a industry night, but it's more of a college night, and I mean it's on a Thursday. Right now here, to give people an idea, pre-pandemic, January 2020, in the slowest month of the year, I was still doing 5 gigs a week here, and now I'm still pretty much only doing 2. I did 3 this past week because of the Bengals game, but everything's still slowed down. And honestly, it's cool by me only doing the 2 gigs. Right. Things that the slowdown has been a good thing for me in terms of just regaining some life and
hence the birth of this podcast.
Right? Yeah. Yes. But it's been one of those things where it's I was just working so much, and I know how it is. It's you were working so much that you don't even take time to do things that you like. And sure, we both are like DJing and love what we do.
Right.
But it's I didn't realize how much other stuff that I enjoy doing too. And then not only that, how toxic the working in bars and clubs and just the environment is in general. And just there's a lot of bad people out there. Not bad people, but okay, there's a lot of bad people, but there's a lot of people that get stuck in that lifestyle of and it's just there's so much more to life than going out and being in a bar all the time and drinking all the time. And don't get me wrong,
yeah.
I love to drink and party and have as much fun as the next guy, but the slowdown has definitely been good for me.
Yeah, 100%. Allowed all of us to rethink. It was a much needed reset. I dropped a ton of things, like you're saying, and focused on a new chapter and new stuff that is coming. So yeah, I don't know why my camera hates fun. It keeps blurring out.
But yeah. Okay, so let's get on to another topic we want to talk about real quick before we close out today is just some new gear. Have you got any new gear lately? What are you using? What is it?
Yeah, I was going to mention a couple of things here. Actually, let me get over here. I just picked up this.
Hold on.
controller.
We got the extreme close-up cam. Ready? Are you ready?
Extreme close-up.
There we go. Look at that. Extreme close-up.
Excellent extreme this is the Reloop Ready controller. Fits right on top of your laptop. But great for, it works with Serato. You have to own Serato. You have to actually own the club kit or whatever, the full suite. But it works with Serato and it works with the DJ app, which I'm seeing a lot of people like Craze and A-Track and really jumping on that. I saw Laid Back Luke even did a little video on it where it has that new AI, the neural engine, so you can drop out the acapella or have acapella only all on the fly. Looks
Dude,
pretty
that
dope.
stuff is crazy. It's just mind-blowing. I wonder if Serato is going to incorporate that, you know.
I feel like they have to. If they have, I mean, Craze or A-Track just got his own mixer, right? With Serato and Rain. And he's now hyping up DJ. The DJ app, you know. So Serato's, I'm sure, paying attention. You know, it can't be lost on him. So yeah, stoked on this. This is going to be kind of my backup / travel rig. I've been, you know, traveling, doing weddings across the country, and
yeah, I don't think people that might follow you might know this, but I don't think people quite know that, like, you live in Long Beach, LA, kind of based. You've been traveling to the East Coast now, like almost every weekend since like springtime, doing weddings and all that. So
yeah,
I think
COVID just opened it up, and shout out to some of the companies across the country that are still open and just needed help. So Brian B, one of the guys, been booking me across the country, and it's been pretty awesome. Been just doing weddings for him. But over this learning how to travel and do gigs, I started packing like an SKB case with just extra adapters and things that you might have at your gig or might have in your van that you just forget about when you're at the show and someone else is doing the setup for you. So this is something that I really wanted. I could basically do a full show on this if I really needed to. Just a compact controller, has giant buttons, you know, full sized pitch and everything. It's pretty powerful for what it is. So I'm stoked on this new buy. And then I also
it's for other people listening, Drew's, that's not going to be Drew's primary gig or
no.
primary controller. It's just if he gets somewhere and everything goes to hell, that like he's got something that actually he can DJ with.
Yeah, so I it's a backup to where if you know you're playing on other people's gear, right? So I don't know how good that gear is when I get there. I'm going off their word that they say that SX or SRT or turntables or whatever works. So this is fully just extra. And even with doing some of these weddings, sometimes there's just 2 or 3 locations. So this is just an easy thing that I could bring along that now I could play in a 3rd location or 2nd location and get by. So I got that. And then this was a little hub I was going to mention, this CalDigit Soho dock. You know, you just got an M1 computer as well, right?
I did. Drew convinced me. So if any DJs are thinking about buying the M1, it's by far the best computer I've ever used in terms of, well, one, the big notice is it doesn't get hot at all. So when you're outside DJing, like the only heat that it gets is from it being hot outside. The computer does not get hot, and the battery life is insane. I mean, insane.
And I would say I like the keyboard better too.
Oh yeah, it's way more functional. I mean, I bought this one not to like plug Apple too hard, but if you're a DJ,
fanboy. I'm a fanboy.
I'm a fanboy.
Plug them away because we need that. We need that sponsorship. I bought the minis as well. I bought that iPad mini as well, that new one. So
I bought mine on the refurb tab on the bottom of the Apple website, and it cost me $1,735. It was like I believe that was with taxes what I paid, and I got a 13-inch M1, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte. The Pro, 1 terabyte hard drive. So I got all that for under $2,000.
So DJs that I get hit up minimum once a week about what computer I should buy. That is so cheap. I mean, these computers are besting the Intel 16 gigs, or at least matching them. And the fact that you could get a computer, back in the days when you'd have to get an Intel that same size for those same specs, you'd want to get an i7 or something along those lines. And it was closer to 27, 30, 32, you know?
And I do video on my Friday night, and you do video. So I'm doing, and the computer doesn't struggle at all. And for anybody that's wondering, this is the hub that I use, is this Anker hub. It's got 2 USBs here. It's got the power adapter here for the USB-C. And then it's got another USB-C on this side. And then it's got the HDMI port as well. So when I plug in on Fridays, I plug this in. I plug my computer power into it. I plug the HDMI into it. I plug my external hard drive into it that just has the videos. And then I plug Serato into the other port on my computer.
Yep.
And that's all you need.
It's all you need. Just do this. Do yourself a favor. Actually spend a little bit of cheese on getting a minimum 1 terabyte drive, right?
Yeah.
And don't use externals. Get out of that nasty external life and just use the internal. Then that's one less thing you got to plug in or deal with. So
I agree. That's my goal, is to go through that and get rid of. I just have the videos on external because that's what I was doing forever, and now it's I don't need to. So
right, yeah. So no, M1 all day. Get out of this. All these DJs that say, does it work with the new stuff? We're in 2021. Of course that the computer's going to work with everything. That's part of the thing. People need to buy new systems all the time. We're not stuck in 2015-inch laptop, 2015 era laptops.
Still DJing on Scratch Live.
Yeah.
Like, bro, come on.
It's time
Get with it.
It's time to upgrade. It's time to upgrade.
And you and I are somebody that have always taken the plunge of new gear, buy it, let's run with it. And I bought the first Touch Bar MacBook that came out in 2016, and I was running Serato DJ on that, which was a big no-no at that time. Everybody was like, oh my God, and still running Scratch Live and stuff. So I prefer the USB-C. Everybody that's like, the dongles suck. I'm like, dude, it's going to be great in a few more years once just everybody converts to USB-C, and it's the only cable you need.
I got rid of not all, but most of the USB-As. I just replaced all my cables with USB-C. It's taken some time, but man, I'm not dealing with it no more. Everything's compatible. Just been getting rid of old tech that still supports that. I don't want it no more.
Yeah, and the other thing is been great is, except for the videos, which isn't too many files. I just got to kind of go through them and keep the edits that I actually play and move the ones that I don't play. But I've been going through my library since I converted to this one, and it's been nice to kind of clear the clutter. But also, what I was going to say with that is the migration from one computer to the next is so easy now on Apple. And if you're not using iTunes and you keep your music on your computer, all you have to do is put it in the same location and boom, it all shows up. So it's not hard.
I have mine synced up through Dropbox, so it syncs across all my laptops. DJs, if you want to see that video, hit us up. I have a little video tutorial I could send out, or it's on the DJ's Vault or Create Hackers, if you remember.
Yeah, I need to actually watch that because I want to do that.
I'll help you out, man. It's gold. I have it set up to where I can open up my back laptop. You just drop the Serato crates on it, the two folders, and bam, they're mirrored.
That's nice. I'm interested. So you don't have to have Wi-Fi, right? It'll just download?
Yeah, you just save it. You got to save it offline. You got to have enough space on both laptops.
Gotcha. Yeah.
To be able to hold all the stuff. But
if you do, you're good to go.
You're good to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that kind of we were gonna do our 5-minute rant. That's one thing we want to do on this podcast is even when we have guests, they can rant or have something positive. But I kind of already ranted about the requests and people coming up to me when I'm playing like a super hot song. So I think that might have covered it for today. But did you have something positive that you wanted to say or anything you wanted to talk about? Yeah.
Positive wise, from what your rant was, people coming up for requests. And so last night specifically, I had a guy coming up to me and he seemed drunk and he was kind of like bulldozing towards me. And, I have my hand out so he doesn't run through my table. And he's yelling at me over the DJ booth. And I'm going, I can't hear you, bro. Like, you got to come over here on the side. I'm already deaf and the speaker's in my ear. So he comes up and I'm just waiting for, that Bad Bunny or whatever request that's coming my way. And dude says, hey, I love your music and your speakers sound awesome. And then he walked away. That was it. So I thought, hey, that was a pretty good, that was a good win. No requests, no buts or no this or that. Just basically a high five and walked away. I was like,
isn't that cool. The best? Because, when people come up to me and like, that's what happens. I'm totally like, oh man, I see this guy. He's making his way for me. Oh God, this is going to suck. It's going to be the worst 30 seconds of my life. And then like that happens and you're like, damn, thanks.
Yeah. No, that was one of the best compliments I've had in a while because I feel like it's always backhanded. They'll tell you you're awesome, but then want something right away. And I didn't get that. So yeah. But where's the but? Man, he just walked away. I was, oh shit, that was dope. So
that's cool. Well, what speakers were you using? Are they
the RCF Evox 12s?
Oh, the big ones.
The big ones. Yeah, they got a 15-inch sub, and I mean they're perfect for 150, 200 people. I think they have perfect like coverage and a good overall sound. It's not going to be thumpy if you're in a big room, but I think for most of the shows I use those.
That's cool. I feel like a lot of people are kind of like, there's so many different, style speakers out right now and all that stuff. And those are expensive compared to a lot of speakers, but everybody seems to say the same thing with those. That
they're a couple bucks. I'm not gonna kid you, but it's all about looks, really, and trying to up your game, and getting those nasty tripods out of your pictures is something you should be doing. At least for coordinators, I know some of the coordinators I work with they don't want to see no tripods. So.
All right. Well, I think that's going to kind of wrap up today. And we just want to reiterate that, we're doing this podcast not only for ourselves, because Drew and I talked a lot. And we were like, we just need to do this live. And because we think a lot of the things we talk about are things that other people might want to hear or talk about the same. So we want to have more of a discussion, and we want to include other people in terms of what you guys might want to hear or things that you might want us to talk about or what you might want to see. So again, we're going to have a phone number where you can leave some voicemails. You can obviously DM us, or if you know us personally, hit that hotline bling and leave us a voicemail. And if it's a good one, we'll play it on here for everybody to hear. But remember, we're not censoring anything in this podcast.
We need an Apple ringtone sample. So that
yes,
you hit
that hotline bling.
Yeah.
So we're not going to censor anything, and we want to keep it real. And so whatever you say will be heard if you do leave the voicemail.
Yeah.
So
we love it. All right.
All right. Cool.
Good first show.
The pilot episode is done. So we'll talk to you guys soon. And thanks for tuning in to the Drew and Fuse Show. Follow us on social media at Drew and Fuse Show, and then follow our personals as well.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.